Hey everyone, and welcome to Rainbow Tarot UK. A big warm welcome and thank you to any returning subscriber or viewer. Really appreciate all your support of my channel so far, so big thumbs up for that, thank you so much. And I'm really excited to be doing today's reading because we're fast approaching 2023, so this reading is going to be giving us really a sort of general idea, an overview of 2023. Now I'm going to be specifically looking at, in this reading, two areas. So I'm going to be looking at relationships in general, and also I'm going to be looking at work and career. So if you're looking specifically for kind of like a love prediction reading, and I know I do a lot of love readings generally, this probably isn't the reading for you. I mean, if love comes up within the relationship section, then obviously I'm going to speak about that. But as a rule, I'm looking at relationships in general and work and career. Okay, so we've got our three piles as usual. We've got pile number one, which is this pink card here with the green stone. We've got pile number two, which is this yellow card, or part of the yellow hue, with the amethyst stone, and this green card, which is which also goes with the blue stone. There, so those are your three piles. Now what I'm going to do in this reading, because it comes in two parts, I'm going to stop the reading after one section and then do the work section, and it gives you the chance with the timestamps in the description box to, for example, if you feel more drawn to pile number one for relationships but to pile number three for work, then you can hit the timestamps for that. It will be listed in the description box. So that's kind of how I'm going to be doing this one, really, just to make it, I suppose, just to make it easier for you to find, to mix and match if you want to do that. As I usually say, it's a general reading, so take the messages that resonate with you. You never have to take a message that doesn't resonate with you. It's really important that you go for whatever feels right. There might be more than one. There might be more than one pile here that you feel drawn to. And other than that, and also say it's So that's kind of what I want to say really with that. But anyway, let's get straight to our reading, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Hey pile number one, and welcome to this 2023 predictions reading. And I have actually pre-shuffled your cards already, but you chose to come into the reading on this card. Now this card I've chosen as the overall colour, the theme, if you like, for you for 2023, and obviously this is a beautiful pink card. Now pink and also the green stone. Now pink and green are always the colours of the heart chakra, the centre, this kind of heart chakra here. And they, pink signifies love, really, doesn't it? So I feel like for you, the overarching theme of 2023 for you is about love generally, but just love for yourself, because this card in particular is about self-love, I feel. So I feel like 2023 is going to be really you loving yourself, learning to love yourself, learning to appreciate yourself, learning to be sweet, kind, caring with yourself, but also those kind of sweetness, kindness, sensitivity is something that I think is going to be very prevalent for you in 2023, to yourself, as I said, but also to others and how you relate to others. But sweetness also talks about, because even if we have fantastic predictions and we're going to have a great year, there'll always be, because that is the kind of journey, if you like, of us through life. There's always ups and downs, isn't there? But I think this card is saying to you, just to remember that there is love in your life, that there is always something to appreciate in your life, and and sometimes those things that we give us joy and happiness are the small things. So it's about really appreciating that we have love, and that sometimes it's the small things, appreciating those small things that can kind of get us through more difficult times, maybe. So I think for you, love, self-love, caring for others, caring for yourself, this is really going to be a major theme for you in 2023. But anyway, let's get straight to, let's get straight to looking at getting some more detail on your relationships for 2023. Welcome back, pile number 1. So we are now looking at specifically at relationships in the round, in the main for 2023. What is coming up for you? Just to say as well, if you feel like you want to subscribe to the channel, then please do. It would really help the channel to grow. So just to be aware of that. But also, let's have a look and see what you've got. So the first card that we have here. Okay, so that's great. So that's a yellow card, and it says success. Success. So there is a feeling in 2023, an overriding feeling for you in relationships around success. And I'm feeling, because this is yellow, and yellow relates to the third chakra, really here, which is the centre for kind of personal power and empowerment. So I'm sensing that in 2023 you're going to be walking in or feeling a lot more empowered within yourself, really. And that your relationships, or how you conduct yourself in your relationships, or how relationships go, are going to be, it's going to be an empowering year for you. And you're just going to feel more powerful in yourself, more confident, more in control, really, of yourself, really. But anyway, let's see what else we've got. Okay. Now, I also use what's called, some of you might have already heard of it, I have used it in some of my other readings, called Aurosoma colour therapy. And it's a whole kind of colour system using kind of bottles. But I do have something called the Inspiration Deck, which is a sort of captured image of one of the beautiful coloured bottles. And they also relate to the tarot, or some of the cards relate to the tarot. Now, this one is what you have here. Now, this one is actually the Ten of Swords, and it's actually, when you look at an Aurosoma bottle, it's got 2 sections to it because it's oil and water based. So the top part of this bottle is clear and the base is red, so it's clear over red. And it's actually called, because all Aurosoma bottles have a name as well, and this is called the Christ bottle. And it says, I awaken to the mystery of the body as love, and it's to develop sacrificial love. So that's quite interesting. So maybe, with it being the Ten of Swords as well, in relationships there are kind of endings and new beginnings, because the Ten of Swords is often a card which shows an ending of something, but then there's always that little glimmer of light in a Ten of Swords card that shows that there's a rising up. So I'm feeling, and also 10 cancels down to 1, 1's are new beginnings, 10's are completion and endings of cycles. As well, clear and red, I mean clear is white, white and red again, when they're mixed together, make pink. So that's interesting as well. So I just feel that in your relationships, you are becoming more empowered overall. There is that feeling of success, or being confident, or feeling like you've conquered something. But there is also this kind of self-love in all of that. So I feel like there's a sense of empowerment, and that empowerment also increases your sense of self-love. And it's got something to do in your relationships generally with maybe clearing away of something that no longer serves you and beginning again, almost like sort of like rising up, really, a kind of rising up in some way. But anyway, let's see. So I've got some tarot here. So let's have a look at your other colour. What other colours have you got for relationships? Oh, so you've got the Silver card, which says, at the bottom it says be persistent. I just intuitively feel that it's around, the message around be persistent in your own healing. Actually, I feel like this year might be in yourself and with relationships a chance for you to really kind of heal a lot of stuff, a lot of internal stuff. And this is telling you to be persistent with that, to give yourself the time and attention that is, that you're worthy of, really. Also, it's a very calm colour. It's a very peaceful colour. And again, it helps to strengthen that healing process and releasing, because I do feel like with all the pinks and stuff, there's a kind of need, there's a desire for you to kind of love yourself more and to release, maybe to release any relationships, like I say, that are no longer serving you, that might have caused issues or problems for you, or maybe have been, maybe some toxicity or something like that, because this card is about, like I say, helping you to heal, helping you to be stronger. So I do feel, and that might be why we have the sweetness card as well, you know, just remembering that, you know, when maybe, you know, we are possibly going through some ups and downs in our relationship, it's about appreciating those small things that give us a sense of happiness, a sense of love, and also just about loving ourselves, loving who we are. But anyway, let's see what else is coming up here. So I think the overall feeling in relationships for you personally is that it's going to be successful, that you are going to feel that you have got a handle on relationships, that they're going the way you want them to. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. But anyway, let's have a look at the tarot. So you've got, okay, yeah, the Queen of Swords. There's a lot of strength. I feel like there's a lot of strength and kind of boundaries coming in for you. I feel like you are, yeah, you're becoming a boss, if you like, in terms of how you are in relationships, in terms of, you know, what you won't and will put up with in relationships. Three of Cups, lovely. Five of Swords. And then we've got Ten of Swords again. So that's come up twice. So that's very significant. So that does. Okay, so what I really feel is going on for you in 2023 in terms of your relationships is it's a year of you clearing out situations, relationships, connections that may have caused you pain, upset, been undermining, you know, had some mind games, not been very kind to you. You are clearing out all of that energy because we have the Ten of Swords in. And that's interesting, isn't it? Because what I was saying just before about this little glimmer of light that you always get in the traditional Ten of Swords. So this person, so you might have in 2022, for some of you, been through some tough times in your relationships generally with people. It could be love relationships, it could be connections just generally, because this is a general kind of relationship reading. I feel like maybe you've gone through a difficult time of a lot of turmoil, or you felt like a sense of defeat, or people haven't treated you right in 2022, which I'm sorry for actually, pile number one, because it's never nice to have that kind of experience. But I think in 2023 you are bossing up. You are saying, with the Queen of Swords here, I'm not having that. You're learning, I feel. You are learning from that experience, because the Queen of Swords is somebody who is protecting her heart, or their heart now. They are simply not putting up with anything that is not going to show them love, that's not going to give them love, that's not going to be loving. And they are loving themselves, and they are protecting their heart from anyone who is trying to get in there to cause pain, really. So I think that's what's happening for you, and this is giving you a sense of happiness, a sense of lightness, a sense of celebration, because you are moving away from this kind of heaviness, this heavy energy where, because I think on the whole, you know, you are actually quite a probably a very caring, a very giving person, generally a very generous natured person, but maybe in your relationships in the past that hasn't been appreciated, or that's been taken advantage of in some way. And I think in 2023 you are saying enough's enough, I'm not having that. This is my self-worth, and it goes with the yellow card here. I am important, I am worthy of respect and love in relationships. I am listening to my own truth. I'm being more honest about what I want, what's important to me in relationships. I am being firm on my boundaries. I'm being clear, where maybe before I didn't feel strong enough possibly to be clear, and I am standing up for myself, and I'm saying no. And this is going to make me feel brilliant. I'm going to feel fantastic in my relationships going forward in 2023, because, and that's why I think you've got to be persistent and the silver, really, because it's about, you know, because there might be times in the year where you feel like, well, you know, am I being a little bit too harsh? Am I being a little bit too hard? Am I being a little bit too boundaried? And what I would say to you, pile number one, is that no, basically you have come to a point now in your life where you are loving yourself. You are recognizing your own self-worth. You know, you're a very intelligent person. I can see here with the Queen of Swords, you've got a lot of good, you know, you are very intellectual, you are very intuitive, very aware. You know, and now what you're doing is you're being decisive in your relationships, and you are clearing out anything that doesn't, that doesn't serve you, really. Anything that doesn't serve you. And with the tens here, you know, the tens cancelling down to 1, I just feel, and also you see with 27, that's the silver is 27, and that cancels down to 9. Well, 9 again is also about an ending of a cycle, completion and new beginnings. I feel like in relationships there's a lot of endings and bringing an end to difficult relationships, toxic relationships, relationships that haven't been right for you. There's a realisation, I feel like with you there's a realisation, because you are learning to love yourself more, you are learning to give yourself more love, you are learning to recognise your worth with the sweetness card here, and you are becoming more empowered in yourself. But anyway, pile number 1, that has been your relationship reading for 2023. It looks like a great year for you, a real year of, you know, stepping into your own light, really, stepping into your own truth, you know, being the person, you know, being your authentic self. I think that's what I want to say. You'll be your authentic self in your relationships in general, and you'll expect others to be their authentic self, and you won't put up with anything less. But anyway, pile number 1, that's been your relationship reading prediction for 2023. Let's move now into, let's clear this away, and we'll move into work and career. Welcome back, pile number 1, and this is your career and work prediction for 2023. So, just to remind you, you had the overall sweetness card as the overall energy for your predictions for, you know, both relationships and work and career. So it's just, you know, that sort of heart-centered, loving yourself, and sort of having love for, you know, all things, really, or expressing love in all things. So let's have a look now at your, specifically at your cards for work and career. So we've got, oh gosh, got this beautiful orange card. It says happiness. Wow, that's beautiful underneath. So, you know, with sweet and happiness, I feel like this 2023 is going to be a great year for work and career. You're going to feel really, really happy, and it's going to be something, I think you're going to be doing something that you really love. That's kind of what I'm picking up here with both the orange and the pink, because also orange relates to the sacral chakra, and that is all about creativity, both sexual energy and creativity. And I'm just feeling in your work that you're not only going to be loving what you're doing, but you might be, for some of you, then you might be doing something very creative, or you might be a creative, or you might, I mean, we know we're all creative, aren't we, in lots of ways, you know, where everything is creative. It doesn't have to, or you might be bringing creativity, more creativity into your working world. You might be creating something from scratch. So maybe some of you are thinking about beginning something, maybe a business or a new project or something, because it relates to that second chakra, which is all about creativity. But anyway, let's see what this is. I said in the previous, if you listened to the relationship reading, I know some of you might be mixing and matching, but I'm using the Aurosoma inspiration cards, which are based on Aurosoma colour healing. These cards, inspiration cards, are kind of like a captured image of the Aurosoma bottles, and they also, some of them, these ones that I'm using today, relate to the tarot deck. So this one is actually the Magician, which is actually brilliant as well for a work and career reading. So this is based on the bottle number 1, because obviously 1 is the Magician card, and it's got blue over magenta. When you look at an Aurosoma bottle, it's oil and water based, so you have 2 colours often sitting on top of each other because they're oil and water, and it's blue over deep magenta, and it's also, it says helping you to understand and accept that everyday life is spiritual. So now obviously blue and deep magenta are, they make me think of the kind of, the kind of third eye. Magenta in Aura-Soma is kind of like, represents the chakra that just kind of sits above the 7th chakra here. It's a very spiritual colour. So I am, because it also says I am complete and I integrate every aspect into my being. So I just feel with the magicians and everything that there is something around you really becoming into your own in work, because magician is all about having the right skills, the right materials, the right resources to bring something into being. So I do feel with this particular pile that, a lot of you might be either moving into a position of authority or moving into a business or moving into a project where you are going to be the master of that, the boss, but also you are going to be the master of your field in some way. And it's going to be something to do with you loving, you're going to be loving what you're doing, really. It's going to be something where you're going to be very skilled at what you are doing. It might be linked to spirituality and, like I say, to creativity, but it also has a sort of spiritual element. So maybe you are bringing some spirituality possibly for some of you, into your working world. Or you might be you might be in a kind of sphere, like some sort of working within the spiritual sphere, or working with the healing sphere, something like that. That could be for some of you. But anyway, let's have a look at your other colour. Okay, so that actually makes a lot of sense. So we've got lavender, you see. So lavender, again, reminds me of the kind of crown chakra. And it says connect to mind, body and spirit. So yeah, I do feel like in your working world, it's just, in your work and career for 2023, it's just going to basically tick all the boxes for you. You are going to feel so happy, I feel, in your work and career situation in 2023. I think it's going to make you, it's basically going to meet all your needs. You're going to feel emotionally fulfilled, you're going to feel spiritually fulfilled, you're going to feel intellectually stimulated, because it is you, you being creative, you being allowed to express yourself, your authentic self. And it's interesting because I think in the relationship one, we're also talking about being authentic in relationships in general, but I feel in work, it's also about you being authentic with yourself, being able to step into who you really are in your working world, and being really happy with that. And it's got something about you also within that, maybe walking your spiritual path, or answering your calling in some way on a spiritual level. But anyway, let's have a look at your tarot and see what we've got. So we've got, oh gosh, yeah, so we've got the Ace of Cups, beautiful. We've got all the, is that the, oh yeah, the Empress, wow. Definitely loads of creativity here. Oh my gosh, 8 of Pentacles, which is actually the work card. And then we've got the 4 of Cups. Right, so let's have a look here. So 100%, I do feel that in 2023, if you haven't already begun to think about it, you are going to be doing a new beginning around something with the Ace of Cups here that you really, really love. And I think it's probably some sort of project or new start, which is going to really fulfill you in lots of ways. And with the Empress here, I feel like you're really going to be the master of that by the end of the year. So I feel like if you're thinking about starting a new project or a new business, or a new, or having a sideline in some way, or something like that, where you can actually, if you're an artist or something like that, where you can actually bring something into being that you love. And not only is it, I feel like with the Empress that you are really going to, kind of reap the rewards from that, really, just on a, because the Empress is all about abundance. She's about being completely comfortable in herself, being very nurturing, being very caring. So it could be something as well in the working world that you love, but you are also caring and loving for others in some way, nurturing others in some way. That could also be going on for some of you. So it could be that you're moving into something where you are showing love to yourself with the Ace of Cups, but you're also showing love to others. And it's got a very strong spiritual link here. So it's like for the good of you are starting something or beginning something or bringing something into fruition that is good for you, but also good for others. It's in service. I feel like with the magenta here, it's in service to others. And it's something where you might be learning and growing. So I feel by the end of the year, you will have really mastered a lot of skills. But during the year, there'll be a lot of learning and growing and moving. And there'll be small achievements. You know, you'll make these small achievements as the years go by. As the year goes by. There'll be small steps. What's the word I'm looking for? Not timelines, but another word for it, like accomplishments. You'll be making small accomplishments throughout the year, and you're becoming more and more and more skilled with it. And by the end of the year, because we've got the Empress and we've got the Magician here, you know, you'll be the kind of master, really, and it will make you so happy. And I feel there will be some financial rewards definitely for you with the Eight of Pentacles here, and that you'll also, you know, it will be creative and kind of wonderful for your soul and for your heart. I think there's a strong kind of like, you know, you've got your head screwed on, really, so you know that this isn't just about you expressing yourself creatively. It will bring, you know, it is practical as well, in the sense that it needs to support you financially, and I think it will do that. Now, there might be a few ups and downs during this year, because we've got the Four of Cups here. You know, you might at times get a little bit fed up, a bit, you know, wondering if it's been the right move, maybe particularly if it's a new thing that you're starting, or a new business, or a new venture, or a new project. And you might have moments where you feel like, oh, you know, you can't see, you know, where things maybe are a little bit slow with the Eight of Pentacles here, you know, where you have to take slow steps, and then in between those slow steps you're feeling a little bit like, you know, is this moving, is this going anywhere, and you can't really see the sort of bigger picture, if you like. But, you know, I think that that's a kind of temporary thing. I don't think you'll be holding on to that very long, because there will be increments. It will incrementally be, you know, gathering as the year goes on, and you will see not only rewards, like I say, to yourself in terms of how you're feeling, the kind of happiness of it, and the fact that it's meeting, you know, it's kind of like it is a real mind, body, and spirit feeling here in your career. But it, you know, it will bring you, you know, it will begin to bring you kind of rewards, really. Yeah, I'm just looking at that. I was just looking at something there. Yeah, so I think that career-wise, work-wise, you are looking at a very successful. I feel like it's definitely the beginning of something. It's a year where by the end of the year you will have mastered whatever it is that you're bringing into being, but then from that it will just kind of grow and grow and grow. That's kind of what I'm feeling. And that, you know, like with anything that we start, if it's a new business or a new venture, you know, we will have moments of doubt. That is normal, that is natural, but it won't last for long. And I think it's always important in those times, and I think that what this card is telling you, that in those times it's important to remember the successes that you've had. So when you're in that period of where things are maybe a bit slow or not moving for a little bit of a time, you know, to remember to keep remembering the successes, and to pick yourself up and to carry on with it. But anyway, pile number 1, what a beautiful reading. That's been a reading for career and relationships for 2023. Fantastic. But anyway, other than that, have a great, you know, I hope you have a great New Year, New Year celebration, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 2, and welcome to your 2023 predictions reading, where we're kind of using both the tarot and colour, really, to give us a bit of a sense of what's going to be going on in 2023. So I have already pre-shuffled the cards, just as usual. It's a general reading, so just take what resonates. As I said in the introduction, you know, there is 2 parts to the reading. So we've got a relationship part in the round, a general relationship, so it's not love relationships specifically, but it's general relationships, and we've got career and work. So you can mix and match if you like, because I'm going to timestamp them all. So, you know, if you don't want to have the career, for example, in this one, you can have it in one of the other piles. It's entirely up to you. But anyway, so first of all, I'm just going to look at the overall colour for 2023 that I picked. or that I was kind of guided to pick for this particular pile. Now you have chosen, the other thing to say, you know, if you feel that you want to subscribe to the channel, then please do, because that would really help the channel out. But anyway, let's see. So you have chosen this card, which was the Illumination card, which we already looked at, didn't we, in the original in the original part of the reading. So Illumination, and also the Amethyst. So with Illumination, what I feel in this particular for 2023 for you guys is that something in both relationships, career, but just generally in 2023 is going to come to light. So something is going to be, there's going to be like a spotlight on something. It's going to be illuminated. Something where, you know, you're going to have like almost like a light bulb moment, really, where you are going to, suddenly something's going to be clear. So I think that 2023 for you, both in terms of relationships and career, is going to be a kind of year of clarity, a year of getting clear, a year of seeing the situation as it really is. And it also is linked, I think, for you as well around sort of listening to your intuition, listening more to your kind of intuition, listening to that kind of little voice in some way, and that is going to also help you to see more clearly. And I think that's what, you know, why you've got the Illumination card. So your year is about things, the spotlight being on things becoming clear, you kind of like being just more clear generally in your in things. So maybe in 2022 for some of you, things haven't been clear, or things have been a bit sort of muddled, or things have been a bit in the dark, really, or maybe under the radar or something like that. But in this year, those things are going to come to light. There's going to be a sort of light bulb moment, I think, for you, and it's going to be very empowering, because we have the yellow card here, so it's going to be a very empowering feeling for you to be able to be clear in all areas of your life. But anyway, let's have a look and see what your relationships, what the cards in your relationship reading reveal. Welcome back, pile number 2. So we are looking now, aren't we, at your relationships in general for 2023. What are the themes in general? What's going on for you in relationships? So we had the Illumination card, just generally as the theme for your group for 2023. So now let's have a look at relationships. So what do we have? So we have a card, another yellow card, interestingly, that says caution. Okay, so a lot of yellow. Okay. Now this is, what I was saying in pile number 1, is this is based on a colour therapy system called Aurosoma, which actually is oil and water-based coloured bottles, actually. This whole system in itself, but it has, as an offshoot, some inspiration cards, what we call the Aurosoma Inspiration Deck, and they are based, this is kind of like a sort of an image of what the bottles kind of look like when you shake them, or the artist's impression of the bottle when you shake it. And this relates actually to the Ten of Wands, and it is what we call bottle number 27. And it says, I am open to the light shining upon me and towards me. I accept what I am now as fully as I can. So there's something, isn't there, again, kind of with this light, you know, yellow makes me think of sunshine and light again. So it's something about in your relationship, a spotlight is being put on something in your relationships. Now with this being the Ten of Wands, it might be that it's a relationship that has possibly, you know, been quite difficult for you, quite burdensome, or maybe some relationships, because again, this is not necessarily based around a love relationship, it's around relationships where you've been put upon, or there's been a lot of burdens on you, a lot of responsibilities, because that's what the Ten of Wands is. And this also card talks about assertiveness. So maybe the light is being shone in your relationships around you, being more assertive, and that would certainly go with the yellow, where you are becoming more assertive in your relationships, more kind of empowered, more confident, really, more willing to sort of step forward and say, you know, these are my boundaries. I'm not going to take on all these burdens and responsibilities anymore. I'm going to sort of step into my own kind of personal power. And with the caution here, what this says is that in your relationships generally it's actually about you. And again, it goes with the amethyst actually, and you know what I was saying about the illumination. It's about you listening to your intuition, so being guided by your intuition, you know, listening to yourself, listening, because often our intuition is trying to guide us on the right path, what's right for us. So I feel like something is having a spotlight put on it in relationships. Maybe relationships, or the part of your relationships where there's been burdens, or you've had difficulties or problems, and maybe, you know, you maybe haven't listened to that before, you haven't listened to that little voice saying to you, well, actually, you know, this isn't quite right for me. But now in 2023, you're ready to have the spotlight put on relationships where they're not, you know, necessarily serving you, and you want to step into your own kind of power, your own sense of confidence. And also, I mean, this is bottle 27. 27 cancels down, 2 and 7 cancels down to 9, and 9s are about endings of a cycle, you know, completions and starting something new. So I do sort of feel in your relationship situations that a light's being put on something, a spotlight's being put on something, and it's being illuminated for you, and your intuition is kind of going to guide you in 2023 around situations where they're coming to light, where things are coming to light, and you're sort of being truthful with yourself, and you're saying, no, I'm not going to put up with certain situations. I'm actually going to step into my own power. I am going to be kind of illuminated, if you like, in terms of my own confidence and my own kind of power, really. So listen to that intuition, really, because that's going to guide you, I think, in your relationships. But what other card do we have? Okay, so listen to this. So we have Lilac, and that is all about faith and having faith in yourself. So I feel like, in your relationships this year, you're going to trust yourself more. You're not going to be weighed down, really, by anything, any kind of burdens or responsibilities or issues in relationship that weren't serving you. And the other thing as well is, like, this is red and green, and this is like lilac and yellow, and they're both on the colour wheel. I've just noticed those are both colours that tend to be opposite. So again, something really is really standing out for you in relationships that maybe you couldn't see before. Something is really standing out, something is really being noticed in sort of 2023, and you're getting clear. I think you're getting clear, and you're feeling more powerful in your relationships in 2023. But anyway, let's see what the cards say. So we have the High Priestess, that's interesting. We have the Four of Wands, okay. Got yellow again in that. We have the Six of Swords, and we have the Two of Swords. So I just feel that with the, because obviously the High Priestess talks about intuition, doesn't she? She's the obvious kind of like card in the tarot around listening, going deep and listening to your intuition. And also when it goes with the Caution card here about listening and being guided by your intuition. So I feel in 2023, you know, what you're being advised to do actually is to be more in tune and willing to be open about how, you know, about your feelings, really. So you are being sort of like asked to listen to your intuition, be guided by your intuition, and to sort of be open about how you are actually feeling, rather than thinking and feeling that you have to kind of meet everybody else's needs. It's about you saying, you know, actually my needs are important too, and I'm going to bring that out into the open. So maybe my needs in relationships, or what I want in relationships, have been hidden before in the past, or I haven't revealed them because maybe I haven't felt confident enough to feel them, or maybe I felt that I wasn't able to. But now I want them out on show. I want them, you know, I want people to know how I am feeling. I want to kind of get rid of this secrecy. And when I do that, I'm going to feel much happier. I'm going to feel much happier, and I'm going to feel much less burdened. I'm going to be moving away from situations that maybe aren't really sort of serving me. So I do feel that 2023 is going to be a year where you're just going to be open. You're going to be open. You know, you're going to be willing to listen, with the amethyst as well, willing to listen to your intuition. You're going to be tuned into that much more than you have been in the past. You are going to have a much stronger sense of self. You're going to have faith in yourself. You're going to have much more faith in yourself, because with the yellow, and again, lilac is the opposite, or mauve or purple is the opposite to yellow, you're gonna feel much more confident in yourself. But there's also going to be a strong sort of calm as well. You're going to feel a lot calmer, because with the Ten of Wands here, you know, when we feel that kind of burdened and we can't put one foot in front of the other, and we're sort of really kind of burdened with responsibilities, I feel this year it's going to be a much you're going to just feel a lot calmer, because you will be shedding that. Maybe before in relationships you felt you had to live up to other people's expectations, but I think this year you're kind of moving away from that. You're finally realising your own worth. I think that's why we have the illumination. You're finally realising your own worth. And this Two of Swords, where you're kind of blindfolded, where people stick their head in the sand, we're not sure what to do, we're, you know, should we go this way, should we go that way, this kind of feeling of being stuck and confused. I think you're shedding that. I think you're shedding that because you are finally realising that you are of worth, that you are of value. Now, for some of you, I can't help feeling with the Four of Wands here, that this is often the sort of traditional marriage card or celebration card. But just as an aside, even though this isn't a specific love reading, I do feel for some of you, you know, there might be a sort of love, marriage, engagement situation coming on, you know, coming for you in 2023. But there might also be some of you our move where some of the illumination is around kind of personal relationships, quite close relationships, and you're feeling that that is not something that you want to kind of remain in, and that you are kind of moving slowly away from something that hasn't maybe been, you know, hasn't possibly been feeling right for you. Now, that's only for some of you. Only take that message if it resonates with you. So for some of you, I'm feeling that there is sort of happiness around a relationship, and for others you might be moving on from certain close relationships that have maybe made you feel stuck or confused or haven't valued you, and it's about you kind of like stepping into your own power and saying, well, actually, you know, I feel like and maybe with all of the cards around intuition, there's something around you know, you finally kind of maybe listening to that little voice that maybe you have been ignoring before, and thinking, okay, well, maybe I need to listen to that little voice that's maybe been telling me to act or behave in a certain way, but I haven't wanted to because I haven't felt able to with the Ten of Wands. Maybe there's been lots of things that I've been carrying, or lots of responsibilities I've been carrying, but now in 2023 it's time to you know, it's time to kind of shine the spotlight on me, get rid of the confusion, get rid of the stuckness, and move slowly into a calmer, a happier situation for me, where I'm really in touch with, you know, what feels right for me, and I am, you know, bringing out into the open sorry, I can hear my door knocking there, and I wonder what that's about. So something tells me that what I'm saying there is, you know, correct. It's about you really shining a light on, you know, on you doing the right thing for yourself. But anyway, part number 2, that has been your relationship reading, your relationship predictions for 2023. I hope you liked it. Please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll see you in your work and career reading. See you soon. Hey number 2, and welcome back to your 2023 predictions around work and career. So we already had the illumination card, didn't we? We brought that out in the first section of the reading around relationships in general, but now we're looking at career, and we are also looking at your work situation. So let's see what we've got. So we have got, oh my goodness, wow. So you have got the green card of abundance. So that is, wow, that's a really good start, isn't it? The green card of abundance. We've also got, now I was saying in the other part of the reading with the other groups that I also use something called Aura-Soma. The Aura-Soma inspiration deck, I should say. So Aura-Soma colour therapy is like a colour therapy where you have colours in sort of glass bottles. It's a form of kind of self-awareness, a bit like all these tools that we use. And some of the bottles relate to the tarot deck, and this is like just a sort of an artist's impression of what the bottle looks like when it's shaken, because it's oil and water based. So anyway, this actually relates to the Wheel of Fortune, which is incredible with the abundance here. It's also green as well, so yeah, so I mean, goodness, and of course green has kind of yellow in it, hidden, doesn't it, because it's yellow and blue making green. So wow, I mean, I think just from that, I mean, green is all about growth. We've actually got the word abundance here. So I feel for you, in 2023, I mean, in terms of work and career, it's going to be incredibly, fortunate. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune is also about good fortune. It's about, sort of fate, great, fate working in our favour. So I feel like in terms of, financially, there certainly seems to be a lot of cards around financial prosperity connected to, and wealth connected to your reading around work and career, but just around just good opportunities, the right time, the right place for things to kind of happen and develop and grow, just generally. So maybe the illumination is around a spotlight, very much on you in terms of your work, things really things really coming out into the open and developing and growing for you in your work situation. But anyway, let's see what this is. Okay, so this is red, which is ruby red, which is rejuvenate your, it says rejuvenate your body. But I'm just noticing that red and green are opposite colours on the colour spectrum, really. So again, it also, if you listened to the relationship part of the reading, we had two opposite colours again there. So now when people who do design and all that kind of stuff, and fashion experts or whatever, they look at the colour wheel, don't they, for inspiration, and they often put two opposite colours together to really get the maximum effect and make something stand out. So again, not only does it seem to be the case in your relationships, but also in your work and career, that you really seem to be standing out and making an impact. The illumination is kind of like a spotlight on you, and that this seems to be something that's going to create a lot of wealth and success and abundance for you. So you're really doing something that is putting the spotlight on you, helping you to stand out in some way. Also, I'm just noticing that this red card is the number 8. Well, 8 is all about achievement, money, progress, financial stability, business acumen. So you might be starting something of your own, beginning a new venture in some way, but it really feels like it's a hugely successful year for you around work and career. But anyway, let's have a look at the tarot. So we've got the 7 of Cups. Okay. we've got the Magician. Wow. We've got the Four of Wands. This is looking really good. And then we've got the Page of Swords. So yeah, I mean, what I feel is, I don't know if some of you are thinking of starting something new or beginning something new, or really having your skills, really focusing in on your skills, because the Magician card is all about manifestation. So I do feel like you're manifesting something, you're bringing something into being in your work and career. It's going to bring you a lot of wealth and prosperity. You're sort of grounding it. So I feel like maybe it's a dream, something that you've been dreaming of in some way, something that you've been, spending a lot of time thinking about, wishing about, like you've got lots of options. You are actually as well somebody that's probably got a lot of options and choices actually. I feel like you're pretty talented or pretty skilled, or you could do lots of things. But there's one thing in particular with this Magician card, because from this Seven of Cups card, the Magician is showing just this one cup here. So I feel like you are bringing one of those dreams or one of those things that you've wanted, something that could have been creative or something that you've been mulling over, and that now this year is the time for it to be illuminated, for the spotlight to come on that thing that you've always wanted to do. Because what this is saying is that you've got the skills, the resources, the ability to be able to do that in some way. Maybe with the Page of Swords here, there's still, it's still in the early stages. You're still, you might need to do a little bit more research or gather a little bit more information. There's still plans that you need to make, maybe in the beginning part of 2023. But I do feel that it's something that you would, that you're really gonna love with the Four of Wands here. And that might, with these, these three people on here, I just feel like it could be like a family thing as well. I think for some of you, maybe there's like a family connection here, or a family business, or a family situation, or connected maybe to a partner or somebody that you're involved with in a kind of partnership. Because the Four of Wands, I think also the Four of Wands came up in your relationship reading. So there might be something around your work being connected to your partnership or relationship. Your kind of like romantic relationship, and it might be like a family business or a family dream that you have. But I feel like it will bring you popularity, really. I feel like with the Page of Swords here, it's going to bring you popularity. So maybe it's online, maybe something that is online, or something around information, or giving or receiving information, or some sort of research, possibly some kind of research role in some way. But I definitely feel that you are really, really going to love it. But it's definitely about grounding that dream, that thing that you've always wanted to do, now into reality. This reading is a confirmation with the Magician here that you have got everything you need to ground that dream into the reality, to make it happen. Because we have the Magician here, and I'm just noticing the one card here. So it's new cycles, new beginnings, getting that up and running, really. And with the Page of Swords here, it's about doing all your research, getting everything you need, making your plans. And I think that you will do that. I think you've got a very good mind, pile number 2. You've got the creativity with the Seven of Cups, but you've also got the intellect, which you often need when you're starting something new. And maybe it's just like a new, also just for some of you, a new opportunity coming for you in work, something that a role that you've always dreamed about, a role that you've always wanted to, and that is now in 2023 coming into being for you. If you've maybe thinking, you don't have or lacked confidence before, this reading is saying no, now is the time for you to really kind of move into the path that you want to be on for your career and work. It's not just a dream, you can do it, and it will make you very happy. And I think in some ways, for some of you, if it's a new venture or an online thing or something like that, it will bring you a lot of popularity. It will bring you a lot of a success, a lot of achievement, and you'll be in the spotlight. I do very much feel like you will be in the spotlight in some way. But I do think for a lot of you it is around sort of social media or something around social media, because we have the illumination here where there's kind of like there's a lot of sort of people watching, a lot of, yeah, you're going to get a lot of popularity here. And we also, I just noticed here, you know, with the 4 of Wands, we've got these rabbits here. Well, of course, rabbits also is connected to, you know, abundance. And I just feel like you're really going to get, you know, a lot of abundance and wealth from this, definitely from this, you know, almost like a new start or a new beginning in your career. Now, just with when it says here rejuvenate your body, what I would just say to that is that, you know, when we start something new, particularly if it's something that we're really passionate about, and I do feel with the ruby that you will also be incredibly passionate about this thing that you're starting, this new project, this new job, or this promotion. I do feel like it's almost like a promotion as well, like a step up, something that you felt that was just a dream but is actually something that you can grasp, that you can have this year. But it is saying as well, you know, to just be mindful of your looking after yourself, really, because it's got, I'm just noticing those words, rejuvenate your body. So sometimes when we get so passionate about something, we forget sometimes to just look after our basic needs. And I think with this one, it's just saying to, you know, just make sure that you look after yourself, that you ground yourself as well. And that you meet the basic needs of your body. You know, you get good sleep, you get good nutrition, you get good, you know, chances to relax and recharge, really. Because I do feel it's going to be a very, very, very exciting year for you. A very, just a thing where there's a lot of, you know, with the wheel, there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of, yeah, there's a lot of moving forward, a lot of growing and building, and a lot of good luck actually as well. I just feel like there'll be a lot of good luck. You'll have a lot of luck on your side with this, and yeah, it's just going to be a fantastic year for you in terms of your work and career. Just remember always though, to research things. I feel like I need to say that. Always to research things, always make sure you do all the research around whatever it is you're doing, always making sure that you're on top of all the paperwork, you're on top of, you know, if there's any new contracts that are being signed, that you're on top of those contracts, you know what they're saying, you've read them through properly, and you know, you are, because the Page of Swords is a very curious card, so it's about just making sure that you look into everything around this particular, you know, whether it's a promotion or a new job or a business opportunity in some way. But anyway, pile number 2, that's been fantastic. It's a fantastic career reading for you. I feel like it's a fantastic year for you in 2023. If you've liked the reading, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll see you in your next reading. Have a great 2023 celebration. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 3, and welcome to your 2023 predictions reading. We are looking at career, we're looking at relationships first, and then we're looking at relationships in general, and then we're looking at career and work. And I'm going to timestamp those, all of those, so you can mix and match if you want to. Just to remind you, it's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Now, you came into the reading on this card, the green card, and the little blue stone, and it has rest at the bottom with the sort of 2 eyes, cute little eyes, with the eyelashes there. So I feel like this year is going to be a year, kind of the overall energy is for you to really recharge, to rest, relax, recharge, regroup. It's also, green can be about growth, it can be about abundance, it can be about renewal, it can be about, yeah, just needing really to, you know, have that little bit of extra downtime maybe this year, to kind of, so that you've got the energy, if you like, to, you know, pursue your goals, with kind of clarity really and purpose. So maybe 2022 has been a little bit of a hectic year for you, I don't know, I'll have to see, but I feel like this year you're moving into a much kind of calmer energy, an energy where you are just kind of conserving your energy, conserving yourself, looking after yourself, being kind to yourself, resting. It also relates to the heart chakra. Green and pink are heart chakra colours. So I feel like, it's a time for you to rest your heart maybe, and to look after your heart for this year going forwards. But it is about growth, like I say, growth and abundance. And just letting things unfold and grow in a kind of organic and natural way as they need to. But anyway, let's see what we've got just generally for you for relationships, and I will see you in your relationship reading for 2023. Hey, pile number 3, and welcome back to your reading. So we are now doing, aren't we, the relationship predictions for 2023, get a sense of what's going to be going on for you in relationships in general. So not necessarily on love relationships, we're just looking at general. If that comes up, it comes up, but we're just looking at relationships generally in the round. So we had our rest card. I did a little bit of an intro on that, and that was your overall colour. So green, that kind of heart chakra. I feel like looking after yourself, that heart chakra, with this kind of little rest card here, just taking respite, taking care of yourself, recharging your batteries, renewal, growth, that kind of thing. I feel like it's very much that kind of a year for you. But anyway, let's have a look and see what we've got. So the first card we've got is the black card, which is death, and of course death is also about renewal. So death doesn't really mean death, it means birth and renewal. Death and renewal, really, death and rebirth. So there's something maybe about letting go of something and a renewal, or a renewal of something, or a new beginning in some way. Ooh, so I also have said in the other two piles that I use something called Aura-Soma colour therapy, the inspiration deck particularly. So Aura-Soma colour therapy is a form of colour therapy. It usually is colours displayed in glass bottles in a kind of oil and water base. So, and it's another kind of tool that we can use around sort of, around understanding ourselves better. But the inspiration deck relates to the tarot, and this one is the 10 of Cups. Well, I mean, you couldn't get a happier card really in the tarot deck. Now this bottle is bottle 41, and it's gold over gold. I mean, gold is just a beautiful bottle, a beautiful colour, isn't it really? And it's about it's just about just really having a lot of sort of love for yourself, really. It's a lot of seeing yourself as gold, really. So I really feel that this is about a year for you where you are, in your relationships, you are having extreme happiness, but I think it's because of a shedding, or a moving away from, or a moving apart from something that maybe possibly hasn't been right for you, or certain relationships that haven't been right for you, and recognising your own kind of gold. And that might be why you have the rest card here, because you need, it's a year where you're where there's big changes. I feel like there might be big changes going on for you in your relationships, and it's about taking it at the right pace, a slow pace for yourself, looking after you. But certainly with the 10 of Cups, it's really it's a happiness card. So I feel in 2023 you're going to have extreme emotional happiness and fulfillment for you in your kind of area of relationships. But it kind of comes with a sense of maybe letting go of something and going easy on yourself during that process of kind of rebirth and renewal, I suppose. But anyway, let's see what else we've got. I mean, 10 also is not only, because this is the 10 of Cups, so 10 again is about, final endings and completion, but it also counts down to 1, which is again is new cycles and new beginnings. So I feel like the kind of happiness comes from this kind of moving away, in relationships maybe that haven't been right for you, so possibly from some of that, or clearing away energy that hasn't been right for you, and moving into your own goal, but moving into something better, moving into something which it recognises your worth. So here we have the magenta card. Beautiful. So this says connect to your deepest inner knowing. Magenta is also a very intuitive colour. So I feel again it's about you connecting into your, in this year, sort of just connecting into your intuition, listening to your intuition around relationships, because often our intuition is always guiding us really in the right direction. So maybe it's about, with the Ten of Cups here, you sort of listening to your intuition, and it will lead you on to this kind of much sort of happier, emotionally happier and more fulfilled kind of place. But there's something around you going easy, because I do feel that there are some kind of like some changes occurring for you, you know, that could cause some disruption, and it's about you needing to kind of look after yourself in that process. But anyway, let's see what we've got here. So we've got the Ace of Rods, which is the Ace of Wands in this deck. Okay, again, new beginnings. There's new beginnings going on. We've got the Ace of Swords. Now that is in reverse. Okay, so the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay, we've got the Magician in reverse. And then we've got the Page of Wands. Okay. Do you know what I feel just intuitively in this? I feel, I'm going to put those up like that, because I feel in your relationships what's happening is you are, there might be one person in particular, or just certain people that have just in your life been very toxic, maybe having very tricky energy, people that you couldn't necessarily trust, people that weren't honest, with the Ace of Swords here in reverse, with the Magician in reverse, people that you know, couldn't rely on, really, people that you couldn't rely on, that weren't there for you, that haven't given you what you needed. And I think in this year you are sort of moving away from them. With the Death card here, you are deciding that that is no longer, you know, you are gold. What you're wanting in 2023 in your relationships is emotional happiness, and I think you're realising that these kinds of people, these kinds of relationships are not going to give you that, because you can't trust them. I think that's what I'm sensing here, is that you can't trust them, that they aren't reliable, that there is something sort of dishonest with them, that there is often with these kind of red and white roses, I'm just noticing here, you know, they might have had two different faces to them, two different sides to them. You might have got mixed messages from them. They might not have been clear. You know, there might have been with the red and the white here, because we've got red and white rose here, and obviously that's mixed together as pink. You know, they haven't given you the love, because pink represents love. They haven't given you the love that you should have had of them. That's what I'm feeling here, and that this is a year of kind of moving those relationships. I'm actually going to do that, of moving those relationships out of your life, actually, because I just feel that you are now moving into a situation. And also with the Rest card here, I just feel like these relationships might have been exhausting for you. They might have really taken it out of you, really drained you of your energy. And I think this year with the green and the Rest is about renewal. It's about rebirth, it's about renewal, it's about rising up again into this beautiful kind of magenta and gold energy, where you're really in touch with you know, what you want, what's important for you, that you recognise your own worth. And with the Ace of Wands here and the Page of Wands here, I just feel like it's going to be, you know, a chance for you to begin again, to begin anew in a kind, and to sort of recognise, like I say, your own worth and your own, I just feel like you're going to be reawakened, I guess, to your own sort of, your own passion, fun, actually. With Wands, there's a lot of fun. So I feel like, you know, you are these people, these relationships that you might have been involved in, kind of just feel like they sapped your energy, and that's why you've got this green card here. And in this year, in 2023, there's just going to be a lot of you connecting into fun, creativity with the Ten of Cups, passion. Gold also goes with wands, because wands are, I feel like a sort of a yellow energy really. We've got a lot of yellow here. Just moving into your own power. I feel like there might be some travel for you as well somehow. I don't know why I've said that within the relationships aspect, but there might be some travel. You might meet new people in another, when you travel, when you go away, when you, have fun. I just feel like there's going to be a lot of relationships now that bring you fun, that bring you lightness, that bring you happiness, that bring you just a sense, like I say, just a sense of enjoyment, whereas these energies are just moving out of this kind of this kind of heaviness, this kind of dishonesty, this not you not feeling like you're getting what you need. I feel like with these relationships, there'll be people that you can have good conversations with, there'll be people that you can go out with, maybe in previously, with this kind of heavy energy around you, that you weren't able to properly you weren't able to properly be yourself, you weren't able to feel comfortable with yourself, you were kind of maybe on edge or something like that. Whereas this year, I think you'll just feel excited about life again. I think with the rest card, with the rejuvenation, with the growth, with the you'll begin to feel, as the year goes on, you'll feel more excited about life, you'll feel more enthusiastic about life, you'll feel that you can you can have better better, more sort of passionate, fun relationships. And the heaviness, I feel like this is a year where heaviness is just kind of gone. You're not going to get any heaviness in this year in terms of kind of relationships. It'll just be a kind of like a fun year in terms of relationships. I feel it's a year to, like I say, renew, recharge, have fun, keep things light. That's kind of what I want to say, and I think that's why we've got the wands here. It's about keeping things light, keeping things nothing too heavy, nothing too deep, just about you, with the Ten of Cups, feeling emotionally fulfilled and happy in yourself, and moving away from this kind of dark, heavy energy that you might have been involved with, before. And I feel like it's going to be a fantastic time for you to just travel, to have fun, to meet friends, to meet people that give you, that make you feel like you have, that make you feel important, that make you feel like gold, that make you feel that you are gold, that you are special. And it's a process. It'll be a process, because like when we move away from maybe these relationships were very significant to you, and when we move away from significant relationships, even if they have been damaging or toxic or difficult, it's a process of healing. So I feel like this year is going to be a very healing year for you with the green here. But these new people that are coming in, these fun people, will just kind of help you with that. They will help you to just to kind of like, just to have a nice time, just to just to have some fun. So I think it's going to be a great year for your relationships, but I think it's going to be a year of reflection, of resting, renewal, recharging, clearing away any debris or any toxicity that you don't want anymore, and just having a light year where you where you kind of grow in confidence, you become happier in yourself, and you have a lot of good times, really. I think that's what I want to say. But anyway, it's been a lovely reading, pile number 3. That has been your relationships, your general relationships reading for 2023. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell. Other than that, have a great New Year celebration, and I will catch you, if you're going to come into this one, into the work and career reading. Welcome back, pile number 3, to your career and work reading around 2023, the predictions for your work and career. So we've already pulled out our central sort of card for the theme, which was this card, which was the green card that also had the word rest on it. So it's very much around just renewal, recharge, a year of kind of just letting things, just kind of being easy on yourself, just allowing yourself to have that kind of time where you can kind of recharge, like I say, renew, so that you've got the energy that you need to focus on for the goals that you're going for. So that was kind of like our overall theme. Green is also about, growth, abundance. So it's a really good card, really good colour. It's connecting with our heart chakra as well. So I feel like in many ways, both in relationships and in your work and career, it's a very sort of heart-centred year for you. But anyway, let's see specifically what you've got for your work and career. So we've got the first one. Oh, so that's aquamarine actually, and that says flow. Okay, so a flow. That's lovely. So it kind of goes with the whole green, doesn't it? Just rest, recharge, let things happen. Don't stress too much. Just relax into it. Just let things happen easily. So we've kind of got quite a good vibe for your work. Pretty relaxed vibe here. This is part of what I've been saying in my other readings, which is part of the Aurosoma colour therapy that I sometimes refer to in my readings, and this is part of what's called the inspiration deck, which also relates to tarot cards, but they're also based on the kind of coloured bottles that are in Aurosoma, and this is bottle number 65, and it is the violet over red, and it actually relates to the King of Pentacles, which is a fantastic card to get in a career or work reading, really. So it says, I know where I am and where I'm going. I trust the centre of my being, head in heaven and feet on earth. Okay, so that is and also 65 cancels down to 11. Obviously 11 is a very spiritual number, and 11 again cancels down to 2. So let's see if that has any bearing on the reading. So we've got violet over red. Okay, yeah, so it feels like it's a very sort of spiritual year for you as well, work-wise. It's maybe part of your spiritual path, because we've got violets, we've got the green heart chakra, we've also got this beautiful blue aquamarine colour. It just makes me feel like it's a very, it's your career is connected somehow to your kind of spiritual path in some way. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we've got. So we've got green again, emerald, beautiful. Calm your mind, body and soul. So yeah, I just feel like I just feel your work situation, you're going to be very relaxed. I feel like you're going to be very relaxed about your work situation. You're going to be very just at letting things unfold. You're going to kind of know intuitively what choices you need to make, what you need to do, and it's going to kind of happen. Yeah, it just has a natural feel to it. Like you've got these little ripples. There might be something that you're doing that's going to have a little bit of a ripple effect in some way, because we've got the ripples going into the water. We've also got a lot of water again, just makes me feel of intuition, listening to your intuition, listen to your emotions. So again, a heart-centered, maybe you're doing something that's connected very much to what you to your heart, to how you feel emotionally, and that actually with the King of Pentacles here, by listening to your intuition, by listening to what you want to do, what's going to make you happy, it's actually going to bring you a lot of success and wealth with the King of Pentacles. It might be something around you, because kings, are, they're top of the tree really, aren't they? And also kings are very wise, so it makes me feel that you're behaving in a very wise way this year, and that you are somehow being a boss in some way, or you're kind of being top of your field, or you're being you're being recognised, you're being seen as maybe a leader in some way, something like that, and it's just going to give you that. It's going to give you status. I feel like your work situation is going to give you status, but it's going to be like a sort of a natural progression. Things are just going to flow, and there's going to be like a ripple effect, really. It's going to kind of like you know, it's going to grow somehow in popularity, or you're going to grow in popularity. And with the Rest card, I don't know if you need to do that much. It just feels like, to me, like it's going to kind of happen naturally. But anyway, let's just see. We've got the 8 of Wands. We've got the 3 of Swords. Okay, we've got 2 of Cups. And we've got the King of Swords. So again, another king. You're definitely bossing up this year. Definitely bossing up this year. You're definitely somebody who's going to command a lot of respect in the workplace. Either in, you know, if you're in a company or something like that, or you're working for yourself, you are definitely gaining respect in your field. You might even be seen as an expert in your field. I feel like with the King of Swords here, you know, you're doing something this year in your work that speaks to, not only to your heart with all the green here, but that speaks to your mind, that's intellectually stimulating, as well as bringing you in wealth. So I feel like as well, it's something that is close to your truth. So again, it goes with this kind of spiritual idea of following your spiritual tribe. It's like following your spiritual path, rather. It's finding your truth. It's speaking your truth. Literally, this person is speaking their truth. So maybe you're in a world of work where communication is really important. You're in the communication fields in one way or another. I mean, that's quite a broad term, but where you're able to speak your truth, and it's important that you are truthful and that you are honest, and that people respect you to respect you for that. Now, it seems to me as well that there might be, for some of you, you know, where you, with the 8 of Wands here, this person is grabbing one of these wands that has got fire on the end of it. So maybe there's an idea this year. You're grabbing hold of an idea and you're bringing it into being. That's kind of what I feel like. Maybe there's an idea, you're sort of finally allowing it to flow for you. So it's something, it's got a lot of passion attached to it. You feel very passionate about it. You know, it's something that you really want to do, and you're kind of grabbing it hold of it this year. Now, for some reason, I'm just sort of feeling that for some people, there might be some people around you that don't like that, because it might mean that you have to leave something behind. So maybe it's you know, a job that you have to leave behind, or certain connections that you have to leave behind. But it's something that you're really passionate about, and it connects to your spiritual path or your spiritual awakening maybe, and you want to grab hold of it. You want to grab hold of it and you want to develop it, definitely. And you might be somebody that has a lot of these kinds of ideas and inspirations, but there's one in particular that you are definitely going for, and it might happen in 2023 quite quickly with the 8 of Wands here. So you might have a quick kind of revelation almost, or a quick desire, or a quick idea that you're going to kind of grab, or go with the flow, go with that feeling, go with that sort of intuition, with what you really want, and just grab hold of it. And it might mean that you lose something in the process, but with 2 of Cups here, I just feel like you will gain something from doing that. So you'll gain more harmony with the 2 here, more harmony, more sort of sense of connectedness with yourself, with what's important to you. It might also be some sort of partnership. So you leave something to move into a partnership with something or someone else that is part of your you know, so maybe you begin something, a new business or a new project, and you go into partnership, and it's going to be a really good partnership where it's going to be, you know, sort of equal, really. You're going to have an equal there's going to be like equal kind of devotion there, and equal sharing, really, in some way. And yeah, it's going to be right for you. So I feel like, because you're moving from a 3 to a 2, so maybe there is literally, for some of you, where you're in a very small situation where there's 3 of you, and then 2 of you are breaking off and going off and doing something on your own together, forming a new partnership. Or it might mean that, you know, you're moving from a company into something much smaller, or into a partnership, or into doing something, you know, even for yourself here. But it's just the 2 of Cups is something about you feeling more balanced in that situation, where you're feeling more emotionally, with it being Cups, you're feeling more emotionally balanced when you do that, because it will definitely speak to your truth. It will be something that you'll be very good at with the King of Pentacles here, something that you have all the right skills, that you'll be very practical at as well. So it's intellectually stimulating, practically you'll be, if it's a business, you'll be able to do all the business side of it. It'll also bring you wealth and prosperity, but it's something about as well, you not really, it's just an idea or an inspiration and you just kind of grab on with it, and I think grab hold of it. And I think why you've got the flow here is, and this kind of drop, it's about just going with that flow and letting it ripple out, letting it expand out in its own time, and it will do. And I feel that, and there might be just a few losses here. Some people might not be very happy with it, but it won't be too much of a hindrance, because you will move on to feeling much more balanced and happier. So, you know, maybe it's a bit of a, with the Three of Swords here, it's a little bit of a worry for you. It's a little bit of a, initially, maybe a little bit of a risk or something like that, but you will move out of that and soon realise that it's right for you, and you'll feel compelled to do it. You'll feel like compelled to do it because it is part of your, it is part of your growth. It is part of your growth and development here, certainly. Yeah, so... yeah, so with that, so with this here, it's got the Emerald card and it's 30. Well, 30 comes down to 3, and it just reminds me of this Three of Swords. I just feel, and it says underneath, calm your mind, body and spirit. So there might be, like I said, some sort of anxiety around this situation, whether it's a bigger company or whether it's a situation where there's a few more people that you have to let go of or you have to move away from to create this other situation. But it's saying, you know, and you know, it will be okay. It will be fine. You know, it might have an initial impact, but then the impact will, you know, there'll just be a ripple. It won't create, you know, it won't be too, you know, you'll get over it. It'll be something that you'll be able to get over it, and it'll be fine. It will dissipate, really. So just to kind of go with it and not worry too much, because it is the right thing for you. Definitely. Is there anything else that I want to say here? No, I mean, I think that's it. I think it's a great reading for 2023. I feel like you're starting something really wonderful, and I think it's going to bring you, like I say, a lot of balance, a lot of emotional balance, but it's going to be something that speaks to your, yes, where you're able to speak your truth, where you're able to be yourself, where you're able to use your intellect and your emotion and listen to your and follow your spiritual path, and it'll be exciting. So it'll sort of tick all the boxes. There'll be initially, there might be a little bit of a fallout, but you will get over that, you will move through that, and that might be why you have the Rest card, you know, to just take it easy, to just you know, take things, you know, remember to feed yourself, to give love to yourself, to give rest to yourself, to rejuvenate, really. But anyway, pile number 3, that has been your career reading for 2023, your predictions for career and work. I hope you've liked it. If you have, please do hit the subscribe and the notifications bell, so you can be alerted to when I next upload a reading. But other than that, have a great New Year's celebration, have a wonderful 2023, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.